All right, guys, welcome back. All right, quickly putting together a video for you guys today. I'm beyond rushing. This is gonna come out sometime during near Christmas, so during the recording this time, I'm rushing to holiday travel plans and all that fun stuff. And honestly, there is nothing crazy I want to discuss in terms of Eagles, and honestly, nothing that I want to kind of harp on that we've been doing. Nothing that I haven't really touched on in my last video. So if you haven't seen my last video, want to hear about the Eagles, go check that one out on my channel. But thankfully, my friends helped me out in the group chat, and somebody sent a TikTok that honestly sparked an interesting conversation that I'm going to bring to this video, and hopefully we can continue into the comment section here. So to preface this video, TikTok was sent kind of regarding the state of the NBA and its popularity. Usually I'll link anything TikToks that I'm discussing, but honestly, this video kind of doesn't really harp on anything that I'll be discussing in this video, and it was more just spark the conversation, so I don't want to convolute anything I'm saying by adding more content onto that. So getting into it, pretty much this video began by harping on how, by shouldn't say harping on that much, by talking about how much the NBA and kind of the general popularity kind of feels like it dropped off. I think this is kind of a very broad statement, but sports fans are really starting to accept it. And yeah, they speak to it mainly due to kind of that viewership number kind of dropping, and this is something we discussed in the group chat with my friends. Again, thanks to them for helping me get a video out today while I'm stressing a bit. So yeah, just kind of one quick example of why streaming numbers are down. I think most of us know this. People are streaming games online for free. I've never done this and would never ever do this. But yes, people are doing this, streaming games online. I don't even know where to do that. People are streaming games online for free, and yeah, that's making, obviously dipping into the numbers that are recorded from different outlets, media platforms, whatever. And I think that's definitely a big factor, but it will not make for a fun video, so I'll share mainly the other kind of topics that we've discussed. But I think that is important to note that that is likely the main factor, as fans are kind of broadly speaking to this topic. But I think also one reason is, as kind of LeBron is clearly, and I say this respectfully, he's kind of fading out towards the end of this career. There's kind of no real like next up. I think there was kind of a clear shift in the league from Jordan to Kobe, and then Kobe to LeBron, but kind of that next up star is really not coming about. And I think why that is, and there's been many stars that have kind of been labeled that next up and have really kind of solidified themselves of that with play on the court, and for whatever reason kind of lose that label. You think of Zion. Zion's an obvious one. Everybody was excited for him since high school, but he's injured a lot, doesn't play very much. Not going to dive into that like all sports networks do every single day, because it does not support this discussion. And then Ja Morant, again, won't dive into him because he was labeled the next up, but kind of that reasoning. You can look it up why that didn't take place. Again, not going to dive into it because it doesn't support this discussion, but for whatever reason, for those reasons, they've kind of lost that kind of next up hype, next up label. They're still stars in the league. People are still excited to see them, but being labeled the face of the league is different. LaMelo Ball, I've listed as a quick note here. I think he really has kind of the hype around him that could have really transformed into kind of like a next up label. Got kind of drafted to a bad situation. Honestly, he never really needed basketball like that, so kind of the vibe doesn't really add up to kind of being the face of the league, but it does add up to being a superstar. Don't get me wrong, all these names, Melo Ball, I think Anthony Edwards is another name to throw in there, and I think I think he kind of has that more of the fresher next up label, but I think people are even slow to decide how much they like him. I think a lot of people like him, but I think there's certain elements kind of shown, especially in the recent Netflix documentary, that people are kind of slow to label him as somebody who appeals to the masses. And I think that's very important to kind of harp on, as I've been saying so much in this video, that kind of it's not enough to be just a superstar and have really good play on the court to be the face of an organization like the NBA, you have to appeal to the masses in the way a Michael Jordan does, in the way of LeBron James does. And I think this comes sometimes, unfortunately, for some people, fortunately for the public in many instances, but this does kind of come with having a squeaky clean record on and off the court, and yeah, just being able to draw excitement. So again, kind of the people I named, like the Zions, the Ja Morants, they kind of have had issues that kind of took them out of that title. And kind of as I was rushing in the shower 10 minutes ago, getting ready to pack up, literally, I have a bunch of clothes laid out behind me and really just rushing through this day. So I was literally in the shower just thinking in the head, thinking about this conversation I was having with my friends, and just the question popped up in my head, like, why isn't it Jason Tatum? Why doesn't Jason Tatum kind of appeal to the masses in this way? And the reason I say Jason Tatum doesn't and is not the face of this league, well, he doesn't appeal to the masses, is because he's not the face of the league. And I think that's really the only step he's really missing. He's really accomplished. Like, he has the ring. He's always in the late stages of the NBA season when the most eyes are on the game. He has a really cute son everybody loves to see him interact with. Like, he has everything kind of going for him in this manner. And I think, honestly, I don't like Jason Tatum because I'm a Sixers fan. Yeah, pretty much for reasons only on the court. I don't like him because I'll get into that a little later, but no big deal there. But I think just he has kind of all the elements that kind of really appeal, that should kind of have him labeled as this next up. And you may think he is and kind of solidified this marker. In my opinion, he hasn't. But if you think he did, let me know in the comments and hit the X button on this video right now. I think that's very fair. But I just don't think it's as solidified as it really should be for a player of this caliber, status on and off the court. I think kind of what's also interesting is Jason Tatum in no way doesn't really seem to be pushing for this too much. I think kind of when LeBron was in the league, I think there was really campaigns for this, and I think it obviously was more clear of the impact LeBron was going to have on the league. But I think Jason Tatum is really kind of at a point where he can start campaigning for this. And then the next thought I had was, why is he not? And I think that thought led me to kind of thinking about how the NBA is well and truly the closest thing to a genuine corporate office environment that most of us work in or have been exposed to. It's really very similar, just with obviously a lot more money involved. The athletes are employees, and if they hit certain targets, that will promote them to the next kind of contract level where they'll get more money. Like any other job, everybody works for a promotion to get more money. That's no different. I think obviously this process is very similar to other sports, but I think when it's kind of exposed and brought out, I think there's often some kind of fan backlash, kind of pushing the player to put the team first or put the sport first, and I think that does not necessarily happen in the NBA. I think fans are kind of accept this generally, even sometimes to the detriment of their own teams, and I think this is also kind of this not lazy, maybe lackadaisical is a better word, but just not clear, push campaigning to me, I'm the next up. I think when LeBron was kind of doing it, it was who was the king of the league. And I think that kind of campaigning and maybe that's just a dead trend. But I think also where Jason Tatum is, he's in a position where fans, if they wanted to, they can really push for him to be the face of this league. And that kind of makes me think, why aren't they doing this? And again, that brings up the thought, well, I'm not going to do it because I don't like him. And again, I have to be honest with myself in therapy as a fan, talking to myself, why don't I like him? I don't like him because I'm a Sixers fan. He plays better than our star most of the time, especially in the important games against each other. Yeah, when we play important games, he's usually the one smiling on my TV while I'm upset on my couch and I have work the next day. Like, literally, it starts and stops there with why I don't like Jason Tatum. So that really, like, makes me wonder. Like, I think he's not being pushed into this kind of appealing to the masses kind of caliber of a player because for some reason people don't like him and aren't drawn to him. And I said why I don't like him, why I'm not drawn to him. So I'm just why aren't you